Everybody is talking of inner child therapy, inner child workshop, inner child healing. What is this and does this really even work? I'm Riri Trivedi. I'm a psychotherapist, inner child therapist trainer, and today I'm going to be sharing a research paper as a part of my simplifying research series where I'm going to be talking about inner child modality and whether is it really effective or not. This research paper, which has been published in the International Journal of Regression Therapy, and it is called Effectiveness of Healing the Child Within Techniques for Well-Being, Anxiety and Depression. And this paper has been authored by myself, Dr. Gunjan Trivedi, Neha Pandya and Hemlata Ramani. In this paper, we have published research which we have done on 56 participants who participated in this research, where we took them through the inner child therapy process and we measured their progress before and after the sessions, and we found out whether is it effective or not. So let us understand what was this all about. The study's objective was to evaluate the effectiveness of the inner child methods on well-being, anxiety, depression and insomnia scores amongst the people who came to us. So we enrolled 56 participants in this study. We did a consultation with them where we took a detailed timeline and their entire history in that consultation. We also measured their scores on well-being using the WHO-5, on depression using the MDI index, the anxiety using the GAD-7 score, and we also measured their insomnia using the ISI. So these are all the globally accepted scales that we use to measure their scores on all these parameters before we started their therapy. Out of the 56 participants, 28 of them continued after 4 sessions. So we have 4 sessions data, 4 therapy sessions data for 56 participants. Out of them, we had a few dropouts, and 28 participants continued for 8 sessions of inner child healing modalities. What did this inner child healing modalities include? So it included doing a safe space anchoring, then inviting the inner child by using emotional bridges, working on healing and transforming that inner child part that was carrying the trauma or the negative emotion, and then doing an integration and future pacing. So this process was done during all the therapy sessions that these participants went through. Like I said, they went through 8 sessions of inner child techniques, and we got the scores. We measured them after 4 and after 8 on all these parameters on well-being, anxiety, depression and insomnia. And the results of the study showed that there was statistically significant improvement in all the parameters that were measured before and after by using inner child integration methods. So basically, in simple terms, it means that the inner child integration methods that we practiced and we worked on for these participants brought about a significant improvement in their well-being and a significant reduction in their depression, anxiety and insomnia scores. And this proves that this method is obviously very, very effective for people who come to us with these mental health issues. Let me share the scores with you. So for the 56 people, before scores on well-being were 35, after 8 sessions for 28 people it went up to 56. The anxiety scores was 12, after 8 sessions it went down by half to 6. The depression MDI score was 28 before the start of therapy, and after the 8 therapy sessions it went down to 13, again more than half reduction. And insomnia score, which was 11, went down to 6. So as we see, inner child integration methods that we have practiced and we teach at Wellness Space has proven to be effective on all these parameters: anxiety, depression, insomnia, as well as improvement of well-being. And this was achieved only in a span of 8 sessions. So if you are a psychotherapist, a psychologist, a mental health practitioner, and if you very often work with clients who come to you with these problems of anxiety, depression, insomnia, or just simply poor well-being, then you might want to try out the inner child methods, which basically work on their childhood trauma events and integrate them, heal them, transform them, and then you will see significant improvement in all these scores for your clients. So the reason I'm sharing this is I share a lot of videos on research papers in the area of psychology and psychotherapy to simplify the research that is published out there, so that as psychologists you can also understand what are these methods and interventions that have been proven to work for your clients. Inner child processes are very, very effective if done correctly. We teach specific steps that you need to follow in order to do inner child work. So it is not just about attending a workshop for 2 days, connecting to inner child, going through the trauma events and crying and releasing. Inner child process includes specific steps, measurable steps and processes that you need to follow in order to bring about this transformation and change. At Wellness Space, we have data of more than 5,000 clients who we have assessed on their trauma scores, and we have more than 1,000 plus clients whose personal interviews we have done, and we have hundreds of such clients data on whom we have used psychotherapy methods like inner child work, RTM, reconsolidation of trauma memory, and a lot of this work is also published in some of the leading journals. So this was a paper published in the International Journal of Regression Therapy. You can find it online if you search on Google Scholar, and this again shows that inner child healing modalities that we've practiced at Wellness Space have been very, very effective for all these mental health conditions. However, there are some limitations. The number of participants that we used were only 56, out of which only 28 continued up to 8 sessions. The other participants discontinued after 4 sessions. Of course, if we have more numbers, more data, then the research would be much, much more credible. Also, the one limitation of this research is we did not have a control group. So normally when we do such kind of research, we have one control group where there is no intervention done, and then we have the experiment group on which we do the intervention to see the difference. But unfortunately, because this research was done on the people who come to us for therapy, we cannot just not do anything and keep them in a control group, and hence there is no control group. So this is a limitation of the study. We would definitely recommend that in future, if anybody wants to publish research on inner child, then you should have a control group so that you can have a more robust research paper in this area. However, I'm very happy to say that this is a big start. This is a first start because there is hardly any research done in the area of effectiveness of inner child therapy for such mental health issues. And I'm very happy and proud to say that this is one or the very few papers which is published in this area. So if you are somebody who wishes to learn inner child modalities that we practice and which we research on and which we publish, then please do reach out to us. We teach it as a part of module 3 of our evidence-based psychotherapy training program that we conduct at Wellness Space. The evidence-based psychotherapy program not just contains inner child techniques, but it also contains techniques that work on PTSD, CPTSD like RTM, fear phobia techniques, hypnotherapy, past life regression, etc. So do reach out to us if you are interested in learning more about inner child techniques. There are specific steps, specific processes we follow. There is measurability, and this training is conducted online, and it is a professional level psychotherapy training that we do. This training is also recognized by IPHM, IMDHA, as well as the Association of Regression Therapists. So I will also be sharing more such research papers in my video series of simplifying research for you to understand more and more different concepts, different published papers in the area of mental health and childhood trauma. I hope you found this useful. If you want more details, do mention in the comment section below, or check out our website for information on inner child module.